I started coaching 15 years ago, the spring of 2005 at Kathleen High School. Billy Graham once said in one season that a coach will impact more lives than most people would do in a lifetime. You know, it's just my hope that my experience that I have with young men on the field, that they'll be able to carry those things and they'll be having a great impact on their lives. They can carry that on to their lives beyond the field. You know, being a coach, you think about some of the guys that coach that left a small impression in some kind of way in your own life. Several coaches that made an impact in my life, I believe. Guys like Terrence Cobb, Pat Smith, Coach Wallace, Charlie Warren, Rod Jameson, Steve Schertzer, Dave Spiro, a few coaches that like that has come to mind. Even a coach that I never even played for, but I just saw him. He was a basketball coach, Coach Gary Meyer. So those are the kind of guys that you think about as you think about your own self as a coach. Guys that have made some type of impression along the way.
Here we go. Set, hit. There we go, there we go, there we go. Set, hit. All right, here we go. One more time.
You know what drives me in the coaching journey? Just being able to have a positive impact, a great impact on the lives of young men and on athletes. Realizing that they're going to have a lot longer life outside of the sport. You know, just being able to have that positive influence, a great impression on their lives. You know, that's a great part about being a coach and being part of this great profession. Even though you don't look at it as some people may not look at it as a profession sometimes, but it's a great thing to be a part of because of the impact that you get to have.
Every day, your best, no matter the assignment, your best, no matter the assignment. Here's the assignment, keep giving your best, keep giving your best. Yes, sir, yes,
sir.
And
I believe coaches make a difference on a day-to-day basis. You know, people are looking for something that they can grab hold of, that's something that they can be a part of, somebody to encourage them along the way. And those are some of the things that coaches are able to do in the position that we have. You know, we're going to influence somebody in some kind of way, so why not be able to influence them in the right way? As much as I get excited about the X's and O's of the game and the preparation of the game, you know, I really believe that there's always a greater purpose for my time that's on the field.
Thank you so much for taking the time to learn more about the ministry of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and how you can be a difference maker for this next generation. I can't wait for you to hear the rest of the story of what God did at Kathleen High School with Coach Anthony Troutman and how he used him in the local church to make a difference in the lives of the athletes and students of that campus. Folks, our core values of integrity, serving, teamwork, and excellence are under attack today. Why? Because less people have a life-changing, transforming relationship with Jesus Christ. The result is chaos, racism, riots, and division, all stemming from anger and hatred. This has to stop for the sake of our kids and our grandkids. Friends, Jesus is the answer. With regular church attendance declining and prayer being removed from the schools, how will they ever know Him? FCA is celebrating 67 years of sports ministry this year. We serve coaches and athletes in all 50 states and over 92 international countries. Our vision, to see the world transformed by Jesus Christ through the influence of coaches and athletes. Our mission, to lead every coach and athlete into a growing relationship with Jesus Christ and His church. Folks, we recognize that we have the unique opportunity to be on our school campuses, and we're taking the gospel to them through this platform of sport. In order for us to fulfill the vision and mission, we need staff. And in order to have staff, we need financial support. The gospel's free, but ministry costs. We currently have 14 local missionaries serving Polk, Highlands, DeSoto, and Hardee counties. We call that West Central Florida FCA. Those schools have well over 100,000 students plus another several thousand coaches. These stats present the obvious case that we need more staff. Let me take just a minute or two to introduce you to our current staff. In our Tri-County area, which is Hardee, Highlands, and DeSoto, we have Luke Juarez, Martha Valadez in Hardee County. We have John Beck and Melanie Hosted in Highlands County, and we don't currently have any staff in DeSoto. On the Ridge, which is Highway 27, Davenport through Haines City, Lake Wells, down to Frostproof, and it also includes Winter Haven and Auburndale, we have the husband and wife dynamic duo of Monica and Shannon Benton. In Greater Lakeland, which is Lakeland, Bartow, Mulberry, and Fort Meade, we have Terry Green, Wes Johnson, and Sydney Tu. They are our field staff, and Kathleen Boatwright and Gail Wilson are our administrative assistants. And then we have Rebecca Fearman, who is our graphics design person. All the funds raised tonight will go to support the ministry in this 4-county area. Let me please explain that FCA works on a missionary funding model. In other words, these field staff have to raise their own financial support. They are missionaries, but in our own hometowns. They are the boots on the ground, the ones that go in and day out and do ministry in our schools and in our communities. Simply stated, we need more staff, and that's where you can become a teammate. Folks, we need your help. If we're to turn this battle around, and it is a big battle, we need to start with the hearts of our young people being transformed by Jesus, period. You will be given a chance to financially support at the end of the program tonight. Please prayerfully consider how much monthly support God is asking of you. You can be a difference maker in our communities, our country, and in our world. And now let's take just a few minutes and hear from some of our students about what God has done through their life in the ministry of FCA.
Hi, my name is Mariah Carrizales, and I'm a sophomore at Hardee Senior High.
My name is David Andrews. I'm the assistant track and field coach at Weber International University.
My name is Isaiah Taylor, and I'm a sophomore at Heartland Christian Academy.
My name is Coach Shannon Benton. I've been involved with FCA, since 1998.
My name is Davion Williams, and I'm a junior at Frostproof High School. I'm a 3-sport athlete, and FCA has just been inspirational, life-changing. From my background, how I was raised, it wasn't really a lot of Christianity being shown in my neighborhood and in my household. But then when I went to school and I seen FCA and kids my age just serving the Lord and having a great time doing it, it just really made me want to go to camp. And
I went to FCA camp and it was awesome. It was cool. We had worship service, we had someone to preach the word, and also we did different events where we helped each other out. It was amazing.
I love FCA because it has given me the chance to meet other students that share the same faith as me. It has also given me the opportunity to create and share a devotional during our time of quarantine, which was super fun for me. I am super thankful that we have FCA, but most importantly, that we have incredible FCA coaches like Martha and Luke, which are the FCA coaches at Hardee Senior High.
And I really looked at what I do as a coach as a ministry. I was fortunate enough in the years since to see my athletes come to know Christ. I found that my walk with Christ has gotten much deeper. Being around like-minded people, looking at my athletes not just as athletes but souls for Christ.
I was introduced to FCA by Coach Benton. He's been a mentor and a father figure to me, got me to play football. And then he's the first person I shared my story with, my true story about how hard it's been growing up without a dad, sometimes without a mom. It's been rough, but then he showed me that all I needed was really God, that he was my father, and that he could do anything.
FCA has really paved the way for me to not only share the gospel, but also to point people to the local church.
And they're super incredible when it comes to connecting with students and making them feel comfortable, which helps me when it comes to inviting my friends and classmates that don't go to church. You know, they have the opportunity right then and there to hear about the love of Jesus Christ right here on campus.
I've been fortunate enough to see kids give their life to Christ. And just to see how athletics is just one other platform that they can use to let the world know what Christ is doing in their life.
So I just want to thank you for your prayers, for your commitment to FCA, and for helping me become one of the newer members of the staff.
And then he told me my favorite quote, Matthew 17:20, faith can move mountains. And I just live by that, because if I got faith, then I can do anything.
Started with FCA over 12 years ago, over at Kathleen High School. Kind of flew under the radar for a little bit of time. What I mean by flying under the radar, I wasn't the official FCA person through on file, but I always remember the story of about around 06. It's crazy how I got started. Sharon Long in 2006 came to me in the classroom one day. She just saw me. She said, "Hey, you ever thought about being a part of FCA?" I said, "No, not really." Kind of just blew it off at the time. But when me and Coach Holmes became a little closer and he took over, I just kind of came alongside him and helped out. In about 2009, I became an official part of the FCA in this West Central Florida area. As a coach, we get the opportunity to help athletes in their sport, whether it be bigger, faster, stronger, whatever that sport may provide. And FCA comes alongside and gives athletes an opportunity for heart-changing life experiences through Jesus Christ. I can't think of one particular thing that makes a bigger difference in the lives of any human being than the gospel of Jesus Christ. Because when we get down to the heart of it, it is the heart of the matter of any and every situation that we deal with in life. The gospel of Jesus Christ gets down to the heart, the root of any human being, to the point of it goes beyond social class, it goes beyond money status, it goes beyond race, it goes beyond location. The heart of Jesus Christ helps us be able to transform and be able to rise above any and every circumstance that we can deal with in life, and I truly believe that. Local church coming in on the helping out FCA on campuses is a great impact for the campus and for the students that they get to have an impact on through relationship that they get to establish. It's an avenue, the way to connect those students even to a local assembly that they can be a part of. This past year, we got to experience that over at Kathleen High School with Grace City Church coming in and being a part of what we're already doing on campus with FCA, and just being able to come in and provide extra resources, provide extra people to be able to reach out to the students that was on campus and reach out to the other avenues of opportunity on campus as well. What I was able to see God do over at Kathleen High School this past year was something that I was praying for my entire career.
I hope you're ready for some more great news. I want to give you a quick update and a glimpse of what God is doing through FCA right here in West Central Florida. You may not know this, but we reach students all the way down into the elementary, the middle school, the high school, and the college campuses. And long before the school year started last year, we began to pray about what God wanted to do and hear from Him about what He wanted to see happen at the schools. This year, we prayed and asked God, would you bring us 3,000 students every single week? And God answered that prayer. In fact, He exceeded it. We were reaching, prior to COVID-19, 3,500 students every single week. So as we meet with our students in a general huddle, our character coaches are our bread and butter. These are the people who are going to journey with the team from the very beginning of the season all the way until the end. We know that every single week our student athletes are being mentored, they're being encouraged, and our character coaches are standing on the sidelines or poolside, or they're in the court, And I'm excited to know that there's so many people that chose to step up. Additionally, our coaches. We've always known that our coaches are the heartbeat of FCA. Can you imagine how our campuses will begin to look if we had more students, more coaches receiving encouragement from people like Coach Anthony Troutman? As we renew our focus on reaching the heart of the coach, we know this, that the hearts of our athletes, they will absolutely follow. Now, when COVID-19 hit, it changed the game. It changed everything. And somehow, God seemed to hit the fast forward button on some things that we were praying about long into the future. And things we prayed about were now staring at us right in our faces. So we launched our very first ever FCA virtual ministry. But we needed help. And not just one, not just two, but several people stepped up. In fact, we had over 63 volunteers help produce 105 FCA virtual devotions. I couldn't be more excited about that. We relied heavily on the most amazing people right here in our communities. Also, additionally, something we've been thinking about, God, if you could, would you please do it? For the very first time ever, I want to give you a quick update that God is going to launch our first ever FCA community ministry. This year, we are launching what God has put on our hearts long ago. He's thrown the door wide open for us to begin to reach the athletes and the students outside of our campuses. Would you pray with us that God will give us a clear direction and, of course, provision for the massive mission field and the opportunity that the athletes have and that we have to meet them right where they are. Listen, God has used FCA, God is using FCA, and we believe that He will continue to use FCA. And our prayer is this, that you would partner with us financially to accomplish all that God has planned for this ministry. So Coach, what happened at Kathleen High School this year was an absolute miracle. And in fact, it's been something that we as a staff and you and I together have been praying for, that God would do something at Kathleen this year. So Coach, tell me what it felt like when you saw a group of volunteers from the local church step foot on Kathleen's campus.
I mean, just felt great knowing that there would be a good, consistent group. Not just one or two here and there, but a good consistent group that came alongside and just seeing opportunity. You know, that was one of the greatest things, just opportunity.
Right, and of course, just as they stepped foot on campus, it was pretty amazing. We decided together that we were going to relaunch Kathleen's campus because Kathleen was a target school for us this year. That God, if you could send a church, we can help transform that campus. And that's exactly what happened. And so we had a soft launch. We had 40 students show up to our general huddle. And then 40 turned into 125. 125, it turned into 225. 225, 285. And then the week prior to COVID-19 shutting everything down, we had 336 students at Kathleen High School attend our general huddle. And that's just a picture of your faithfulness on campus. And Coach, obviously, you know, the Bible says, dear brothers and sisters, be strong and immovable, work enthusiastically for the Lord, for you know that nothing you do for the Lord is ever useless. And while we know that in West Central Florida's FCA, there's story after story of life transformation and hope being found, there is one that kind of happens to just stand out to us that took place over at Kathleen High School. And that student's name is AJ. And AJ's story is unique because as you stepped out of Kathleen and now here at Bartow High School, somebody had to take your place as the huddle sponsor. And Josh said, I'd be willing to do it. And so we're excited about what's going to happen. But Josh, in his class, he would come in during the morning and there'd be some things that are written on the board. And Coach, you know, those are the kind of things that we're not going to repeat on camera. And it just kind of kept happening and kept happening. And he'd have a talk with this student, and then one morning, Josh actually came in after FCA the following day. And here's what it said on the whiteboard. It was a cross, and it said, I found Jesus, and so can you. And Josh recognized the handwriting. He pulls AJ aside and he says, "Is that you who wrote that?" And AJ said, "That was me who wrote that." He said, "What happened?" He said, I went to FCA, and a young man by the name of Casey McGinnis shared the gospel of Jesus, and my life has been forever changed." What's amazing about that story is that AJ and Casey, they began to connect, and then Casey connected AJ to the local church. And several months later, I get on the phone with Casey, and I said, "How's AJ doing?" And here's what he said. He said, "Man, he was in church last week. He's doing amazing."
Right.
And so, Coach, that's what you and I get to experience as we serve alongside FCA. But I really don't believe any of this would have been possible without you. And so this year, for the first time ever, Coach, we did carve out and created a brand new award. And we thought it would be fitting that Coach Anthony Troutman would be the first ever award recipient for FCA's Volunteer of the Decade. Now, Coach, we got some people here that want to help you receive this award today, man. Come on. Come on. Come on in. Show us.
Get tight on them. Stay light.
Why don't you give some people a hug, man?
I don't put a fast one over you.
Y'all help me do this. Help me show appreciation for the first and right now the only Volunteer of the Decade, Coach Anthony Troutman.
Set me up for the banana in the tailpipe. I appreciate it. What can I say? But thank you. Thank you everybody for coming. Wasn't expecting nothing like this, but
Coach, it's all right, because you know what? You're a steadfast servant. That's what God calls us to be. All those early morning, 6 o'clock, 6:30 meetings you have with those kids at Kathleen, eternity's going to be affected by that. And we thank you for it, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
Love you, man. Love you, man.
Love you, buddy. Thank you. Yeah.
There are many of you watching that have this life-changing relationship with Jesus. Don't you want others to have it as well?
I challenge you to get involved with FCA. Why? Because the world of sport is so huge and so far-reaching.
So how do you get involved? We ask that you pray, we ask that you give, we ask that you go. Would you please include FCA and our missionaries in your daily prayers? The battle is huge and it rages on, and your prayers are coveted.
Please consider becoming an automatic monthly partner, or AMP. Monthly and or reoccurring support helps us and allows us to budget and be better stewards of God's provision.
The war is huge and we need a bigger army. If you would like to find out more about how to volunteer with FCA, simply go to our website and fill out the volunteer form, and one of us will be in touch with you.
We sincerely appreciate you joining us today, and we look forward to locking arms with you and joining Jesus as He transforms the world through the influence of coaches and athletes. May God richly bless you all.